Microphone check 1 2. Y'all let me know if y'all can hear me. I was gonna go live on Instagram, but something was wrong with the app on my iPhone over there. I guess I don't have it in. I got a new iPhone. I got an iPhone and an Android, but the iPhone I couldn't log into it because I don't know the Instagram password. I'll be on there, but I don't really log out of it or anything like that. So I didn't want to reset the password or mess it all up or anything. We got Zaya in the building. Appreciate you for tuning in. You get a bruh. Yes, sir. Big up, King. Keep up the great work, man. Appreciate you for tuning in. I haven't really been consistent, but I'm trying to get back into it. We got Foster in the building. Bruh. Got to get that button to work. Yeah, I got it today. I'm ready for y'all today. I'm going to do that until it gets annoying, right? What else we got? Shout out to the latest subscribers. I realized on Streamlabs or the old version of WebOS, it used to be called, what is it called? OBS. Now it's called Streamlabs. Tells you the latest subscribers. So shout out to Christopher Denmark, Dan Creedon, Corbin Francis, Jorge Ars Guzman. We got Luis Gerardo Lopez Castro, DJ Killer Cam 56. Shout out to Mr. Rush. Shout out to Jay Doggido. Shout out to Farad Qureshi and Sean Kelly. So shout out to you guys for tuning in and subscribing to the NetworkBruh channel. Y'all know how we do on this channel. We try to take these complex networking topics and just dumb it down in more simpler language. Y'all know, just looking at all of this stuff and it just kind of gets confusing and intimidating, right? But you know what? I take this stuff and just try to make it as simple as possible and just try to explain it in a way that just people can understand, right? Shout out to people just be hitting me up like, yo, man, can you do some more videos? Because they like the way I explain things. So anyway, today we're going to be doing Hsrp again today. But we are going to be working with this lab, which is configuring multiple Hsrp groups. So, and I put the wrong episode number on there. Maybe I'll fix that later. Can I fix that now? I know there's a way to... y'all know I'm not used to the new version of OBS, and I don't want to mess this up. Where can I change the episode number or name? That's not what I wanted to do. We got themes, App Store. Let me not mess this up. I can manage videos right here. I think here you go. Y'all give me a second here. I just want to change the episode number. This is actually episode number 125. I put 126 on there because I thought 125 was the last one. So episode 125. Again, configuring multiple Hsrp groups. Y'all know what Hsrp is, right? It's the hottest standby routing protocol, or first hop routing protocol. Is a way to create redundancy for our first hop. What's our first hop? Our first hop is the first router or the gateway that takes us out to the internet, right? Well, what if that one hop goes down, right? We can't get out to the internet. Well, if we have redundancy, or at least a second gateway, then there's still a way to get out to the internet. So if we have two gateways, first hop routing protocols usually create two physical gateways and make them appear to be as one. So when one of them goes down, the router or the computer just has the illusion of one hop. So for example, let's pull up the topology. This is the topology we're working with, right? This is when we get out of router 1, when we go out this way, that takes us out to the internet, right? That's the internet, right? Let's say that's the gateway, right? Our first hop will probably be these right here. We'll probably have some SVIs here, right? Let's say this is our first hop right here, right? We can also have a hop right here, but we're pointing to this to be our default gateway. Well, when we create Hsrp, we'll put this into a group, and that's what we did in the last lab, right? And then this will be seen, these two switches will be seen as one switch and one how do I say, just one hop, right? Or yeah, it'll be seen as one switch. It's two switches, two physical switches, but client 1 is just going to see one switch. He just know his gateway is probably going to be .1, like 192.168.1.1 or whatever, right? That's all he knows, even though this is .2 right here, and that's probably .3. Excuse my terrible handwriting, right? I need one of those tablets. If anybody wants to donate one of those tablets for me, that would be really appreciative. Anyway, so yeah, that's what Hsrp kind of basically does in a nutshell, right? Shout out to Jeremy Stretch for these cheat sheets. They're from his website called packetlife.net. This website been around for like years, man, for a long time, right? He has cheat sheets for different topics in the CCNA exam and also applicable to the CCNP exam, even CCIE, whatever you want to call it. So again, first top redundancy is a way for us to create redundancy, or at least a second gateway, or like a backup for our first hop, right? That's what redundancy is, right? Today we're going to be studying Hsrp. There's three types of FHRPs, or first hop redundancy protocols. There's Hsrp, VRRP, and GLBP, right? We're going to be working with Hsrp. It provides gateway redundancy using one active and one standby router, right? So back to this guy right here, we'll have one active guy and one standby. So when this is active, that's standby. If this guy goes down, guess what? The active one goes down, then guess what? The standby will be our gateway. We'll start pointing to this. But he doesn't see that. He doesn't see that. All he sees is just one big router. That's all he sees. Even though one of them went down, right? What else do we want to say about that? So these are the fun facts about Hsrp. This is the RFC number, or request for change, for any of you RFC nerds that want to study it. If you want to get down to the nitty gritty, you can pull that up on the internet. Just RFC 2281. Is there load balancing? No. So in other words, if we have two switches both up, we'll point some of our traffic this way, some of our traffic that way. No, if we make this our active router, then we're just going straight to that one, and that's it. That's all of our traffic is going to be going to, right? These other ones, actually GLBP, which is why they call it GLBP, does load balancing. That's why, because it load balances, right? Load balances our traffic. So we'll have some of our traffic going that way, some of our traffic going that way. It supports IPv6. There's two versions, right? There's Hsrp version, I believe version 2 and version 3, or is it version 1 and version 2? Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. I believe it's version 2 and version 3. I don't remember. We got Dave in the building. Appreciate you for tuning in. What up? Zai said, bro, I know it's hard to stay focused as Flip. Yeah, it's true, man. It is hard to. I didn't even stream yesterday. I said, I'm gonna promise I'm gonna stream. Oh no, that's right. Monday I have basketball games, so I don't stream on Mondays. So I joined like an adult league or whatever. Got Anders Tech in the building. Anders Tech 79. What up, Network Bro? Appreciate you for tuning in. We got Pre the Hunt in the building. Good evening to all. Appreciate you for tuning in. Appreciate all you guys for tuning in. This is the port number it uses. UDP 1985. The default priority, we talked about that in the last stream. Default priority for all of them is 100, right? What's a priority? Well, when we configure a switch to be in an Hsrp group, they will be given a priority. The default number for all of them is going to be 100 for any routing protocol, right? So if we had a third router and add him to the group, let's say, or a third switch and add him to the group, he will also be 100. His priority is going to be 100 as well, right? Well, how do we know who's going to be active and who's going to be standby? It'll be done automatically, but if all of them are using the same priority of 100, then we need some sort of tiebreaker, and that's chosen through other means. But by default, the priority is going to be 100. Just remember that. And whoever has the highest priority is usually the active router. Now, usually, if one comes up first, he's going to be the active router, and then we'd have to preempt him to take over. We talked about that in the last stream. We'll talk about it again in this one as well, in this lab. So I'm going to give it just a couple of minutes for some people to tune in and stuff like that. I think that's pretty much the basics of Hsrp that we'll talk about. So again, here's there's the different steps for Hsrp and GLBP, the different states, right? First, it goes into speak mode. First, it says, is anybody at an active router? It speaks first. It asks if there's any active Hsrp routers. If not, all right, fine. My priority is 100, then I'm going to be the active router, right? And that's what happens here. He becomes the active router. If not, if he says, hey, is there anybody an active router? And then another router speaks up and says, yes, I'm the active router. And then he goes, oh, okay. Well, then is anybody a backup router? Then I guess I'll be a backup router too. I'll just be the backup router. And then he comes in and he'll be a backup router, or what we call in Hsrp standby. Now, we can these concepts are the same, but the verbiage is different for the different types of FHRPs, right? So what I'm saying here is like, so FHRP, we call the guy that takes all the traffic the active router. The backup guy is called the standby router. Everybody else is just going to be listening in for anybody, for any backup or standbys that go down. That's what they do, right? VRRP, they call them the backup, the master, the backup, and then the other backup router, right? GLBP, or Gateway Load Balancing Protocol, they have the active virtual forwarding router, or the active virtual gateway. He's the active router, the main router, and then everybody else are active virtual forwarding. That's all it is, right? Just remember that concept. Today, we're doing Hsrp, so we have an active router, a standby router. Everybody else is just listening in for anybody that goes down, if that makes sense, right? I hope that helps, right? What else are we going to say? We said the default hello is 3 seconds, so all the routers that are in an Hsrp group send hellos every 3 seconds. He's listening in, but he's saying hello every 3 seconds to everybody else, right? So he's saying hello, and notice we got these priorities here. He's 100, right? He's 200, so therefore he's the active, right? Because he has the highest priority, and this guy is 100, so he's on standby, right? But everybody's throwing, saying hellos to everybody else to see if anybody goes down, right? If we don't get a hello back from somebody within 10 seconds, that's called our hold timer, then we become either standby or active, depending on where we are at in the election process, right? I hope that makes sense. And then we speak or send these hellos through the multicast group of 22.0.0.4 in Hsrp. So I know there's a lot of fun facts to remember, but goddamn it, that's the stuff we got to remember for these exams. So they throw all of these fun facts that you probably never use in your career, but you know. And when you do end up using them, you have to Google it anyway, right? That's what I do at work anyway. Like a lot of this stuff, like we got to remember for the exam. But do you think I really remember how to freaking subnet while I'm at work? No, I pull up a subnet calculator and I do that, right? Just know that for these exams, we got to remember these fun facts. That's how they do. It's a money grab, but whatever. We got Professor Black Ops in the building. Appreciate you for tuning in. Oh, I guess I can do the double, bro. What up, chat? Yeah, if y'all into like cybersecurity and stuff like that, man, y'all holler at my man, Professor Black Ops. He does a lot of stuff in cybersecurity. He covers STIGs of the day, right? Hopefully you can give us the STIGs of the day. If you guys don't know what STIGs are, they're basically rules and regulations that these governmental entities follow. They're called Security Technical Implementation Guides, and he's really into cybersecurity and gives us the STIG of the day. So basically kind of like rules of the day for STIGs, right? But anyway, let's go ahead and get started with this lab. I think enough of y'all in there. I was going to go over one more. Let's do one more current event. I wanted to read to y'all. Critical bug. This is an Android. Y'all know I got an Android and an iPhone, but there's apparently a critical bug for Androids that are out. Well, there's tons of them that are out there, but the critical bug could have let hackers commandeer millions of Android devices. Boy, that would have been ugly. That really would have been ugly. And y'all know Android, all these questionable apps in the in the Play Store, but they've been cracking down on that. Security researchers said they uncovered a vulnerability that could have allowed hackers to commandeer millions of Android devices equipped with mobile chipsets made by Qualcomm and MediaTek. That's damn near every Android phone that has that, right? The vulnerability resided in ALAC, you know, that file type for audio, short for Apple Lossless Audio Codec, also known as Apple Lossless, which is an audio format introduced by Apple in 2004 to deliver lossless audio over the internet. While Apple has updated its proprietary version of the decoder to fix security vulnerabilities over the years, as open source version used by Qualcomm and MediaTek has not updated since 2011. Jesus Christ, man. It is an Apple proprietary file type, but apparently it's still usable on Androids, and they haven't updated that shit since 2011. That's a whole freaking decade, man. That's crazy. Remote bugging device. The buggy ALAC code contained an out-of-bounds vulnerability, meaning it retrieved data from outside the limits of allocated memory. Hackers could exploit this mistake to force the decoder to execute malicious code that otherwise would be off limits. That's crazy. I wonder how they fixed it. Checkpoint cited a researcher who suggested that 2/3 of all smartphones sold in 2021, yep, exactly what I said, are vulnerable to the attack unless they receive the patch. And then they talked about the Qualcomm officials basically had a statement like, yeah, that was all bad. We should have updated it, man. And sorry for the hack there. And they just went on and on. I'll put the the article in the chat if y'all want to read the rest of that, but I'm not gonna read the rest of that for y'all. So let's go ahead and move on with the lab, man. As I said, I'm very, very interested in cybersecurity. Yeah, check out my man Professor Blackops, man. He goes deep into cybersecurity, and yeah, he gets into the nitty-gritty of that, man. Cybersecurity is a really growing field. As you can see, I just read an article about vulnerabilities and hacking of Android. That is this field is high in demand, man. So, yeah, if you want to get into cybersecurity and get some money in that, do it. Let me close my email real quick. So where were we? How many tasks we got? We're going to do multiple Hsrp labs here, right? It's freaking WebEx. You got to be kidding me, man. Let me close this. Excuse me here. Make sure you join the Discord server if you want, up-to-date scoop on. I click invite. Send you guys an invite. When I cancel streams or if I have an extra stream or whatever, I'll post it in the how can I chat? Oh, it's right here. I'll post it in the group. I'll post it in the Discord server. But lately I haven't been streaming as much as I thought I would. Where is WebEx? I need to close this. This thing is that it? Not it. Come on, WebEx, get out of here with that. You gotta be on trust. Man, come on, man. I need to close this, man. Which one's WebEx, y'all? That it right there? Nope. That it right there? Nope. That's not it. That's OBS. It's beyond trust. Come on, man. This thing is killing me. Anyway, let's just jump right into it. There we go. It's gone now. All right. How many tasks we got today? I think we only got 3 tasks. Yeah. We got 3 tasks, but several tasks within them. Task 1 is to verify basic connectivity and configure Hsrp. Here is the lab we're working with right here, right? The one I did all this 3rd grade handwriting all over it. This task involves configuring Hsrp on distribution layer switches, right? So we got the ASW, we got the access layer right here. We got the distribution layer right here, and obviously this is our core layer, but we don't really have a core layer. We just got two gateways there. When devices are assigned to an Hsrp group, how does the Hsrp group function? Remember, I told you we take several first hops and just put them in a group, right? So we take physical routers, like we got this physical switch here, we got this physical switch here. We can put them in a group. If we had a 3rd switch right here, we can add him to that group. But the clients are going to just see one gateway. So back to the cheat sheet here, right? This is how a group works. We'll have one is going to be an active router. The backup is going to be, or don't get the verbiage correct. Remember, VRP says master and backups. Hsrp has an active router. The other guys are standby. He's the backup, but he's called a standby in Hsrp. And then everybody else is just listening in for whoever else goes down. That's what those are, right? That's how it works. Briefly explain Hsrp groups, which I just kind of did. Verify that all non-Hsrp IP addresses on each device have been configured correctly. These are the IP addressing, but we'll just do some basic commands just to kind of look them over, right? Show IP interface brief. We're on router 1. We don't want to do that. We're working with the distribution layer. Enable, show IP interface brief. We got several unassigned interfaces, and we have a couple interfaces right there. 4 of them. All right, so we're on DSW1. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 interfaces that are configured there. There's 4 here, but one of them, yeah, there's the SVI right there. The other 3 are right here, somewhere in there. One of them is not. One of them is not routable. So, what else we want to say here? Let's check one more. Let's check this guy right here, DSW2. Enable, show IP interface brief. Oh, by the way, if you have Boson NetSim, the pipe feature does not work. See there? So now you actually have to. You can't exclude unassigned or anything like that. And there's the basic IP addressing on this guy right here, right? What else they wanted to know? Verify. Oh, we did that. From client 1, ping the default gateway, which is the VLAN 1 interface on DSW1. 172.16.3.3. So from client 1 is this guy right here. Very similar to the last lab, right? This client 1, they want him to ping that right there, the DSW, the default gateway. 172.16.3.3, right? Is that what you said? 3.3? Yeah, 3.3. So we'll go to back to client 1 right here. Zoom out so y'all can see. Y'all let me know if this is too small or too big. Can you guys see the output on this? Ping 172.16.3.3. We get on our knees, pray to the network gods. We got a reply. Professor Black Ops has joined the Discord server. Man, appreciate you for tuning in, and thanks for joining the Discord server. Again, if I do a cancel a stream or anything like that, or if you guys want a heads up on when I do a stream, I usually put it in the Discord server. I haven't been consistent lately, but you'll get the inside scoop there. What else did they want to know? From client 2, ping the default gateway, which is the VLAN 1 interface of DSW2. So same thing, but this is client 2, even though he's not labeled. His default gateway is this guy right here, DSW2. They want us to ping that, which is 172.16.3.2. So we'll go to the client 2. Enter. Ping 172.16.3.2. Pinging. We got a reply. Good to go. Number 6. From client 1 and client 2, ping router 1's FA00 interface. 172.16.3.253.2. 253.2, right? So basically they want us to from this router, or from that PC and that PC, they want us to both ping this guy and this guy to ping that guy. He might not be taking that route, but either way, they want us to ping this router right here. 172.16.253.2, right? Yes. So we'll go to client 1, ping 172.16.253.2. This is just basic connectivity they want us to do here. We got to reply, do the same thing on client 2, 253.2, 253.2. Get on our knees, pray to the network gods, and we got to reply. Good. So now, step 7. We're moving kind of fast here, right? Jesus, 16 subtasks? Oh, Jesus. All right, number 7. How can you set up the network so that all computers represented by client 1, this guy right here, use an IP address on DSW1 as the primary switch for their default gateway, but fail over to the same IP on DSW2 for their default gateway in the event that DSW1 fails? You guessed it, Hsrp, right? So basically they want us to come on, man. I want to do that. They want us to, since client 1, this guy right here, all computers represented by that guy or that network, whatever, this is his default gateway, this guy right here, right? They want us to, when that way this goes down, they want us to shift our traffic over to this so we still get out to the internet. How do we do that? Well, we do that with Hsrp, right? Because he's still going to have a default gateway of whatever this IP is, right? If we didn't set up Hsrp, and if that one goes down, then we lose the internet. Well, Hsrp allows us to create redundancy and still get out to the internet by creating an Hsrp group, by putting these two guys in a group. But we also have to have these two guys share an IP address. So let's say it's .1 and say 172.16.1.1, and then that's going to be his default gateway. This concept is called the virtual IP address, which is used within Hsrp, right? That makes any sense? If you got any questions, to put it in the group chat there. There's a lot of smart people in the group chat that'll answer the question. So this is real similar to the last lab, right? Y'all know, repetition is a skill to mastery, right? We're doing this kind of over and over again, but now we're just adding multiple groups. That's what we're doing here. So that's how we do that. But fail over to the same IP on DSW2 for their default gateway in DSW1 in case DSW1 fails. We do that by Hsrp. So, and I think that's what we're going to do here. Step 8. On DSW1, create an Hsrp group with a group number of 10 and an IP address of 172.16.3.252. Use an Hsrp priority of 120. All right, so we'll go to DSW1, which is this guy right here. The way we do that, we have to go to the VLAN 1 interface, the SVI. That is the default gateway for client 1. So client 1, when he goes out to the internet, he uses 172.16.3.3 to go out to router 1, right? Or to get out of the internet, right? Except we're going to go to global config mode, interface VLAN 1, 1, and we say standby IP. The IP address they said to use was 172.16.253, 172.16.3.252. And then the group number. Actually, I take that back. We don't do that. First, we do the group number. So let me question mark so you can see. Standby. Then we do the group number. We can do the IP, but I don't know if you can do what order that'll be in. So what we're gonna do here is we'll create the group number first. So standby group number 10 is what he said, and then the IP address. Because I don't know what happens if you kind of do the order differently. Let's see what happens. I've never seen that. Standby IP, we said 172.16.3.252, 3.252. Yeah, and then that'll be the IP address, but we don't want that. We wanted to create a group number because we're creating multiple groups. We said standby group 10, and then IP is 172.16.3.252. Right? Yes. And then we do the priority. Remember what we said the concept of priority is, right? We said we go back to those cheat sheets from Jeremy. Shout out to Jeremy Stretch at packetlife.net. Make sure you go to that website. You can download a whole bunch of cheat sheets for like, networking concepts, right? We said whoever has the highest priority will be the active router. We only have one router in the Hsrp group right now, right? But whoever has in case we have multiple routers in the group, we need somebody to have the higher priority to become the active router, right? It doesn't guarantee him to be the active router, but it kind of like raises his chances of becoming the. They said to create the priority of 120, right? So standby priority 120. That's how we do that. What's the next thing they said they want us to do? Give me a second, y'all. Y'all give me a minute. Y'all give me a minute. Okay, so the next step they wanted us to do here on DSW2, create an Hsrp group of group number 10 and an IP address of 172. Same thing, except we're just changing the, we're going to do it on DSW1, and we're going to give him a lower priority, 90, right? So we're going to go to DSW2, go to global config mode. We said standby. Oh, no, we got to go to the interface, the SVI, right? So interface VLAN 1, standby, group number 10. IP is 172.16.3.252, right? Press enter, and notice we got some syslog messages here. He went from active. Remember, he said, "Hey, is anybody active? Anybody an active router in this group? Because I'm going to become the Hsrp active router." And then he started speaking by asking. And then after that, he heard somebody else say, "No, I'm the active router, and my priority is 120. And by default, mine is 100 since I just got in the group." And he's like, "All right, now I'm a standby. I'll be the standby router. In case you go down, I'll go ahead and take the traffic." Y'all see what that? Y'all understand this concept, right? So let's go back to this this sheet right here. Remember what I said? Somebody's going to be the active router, usually the one with the higher priority, which in this case it's 120. And then he said he speaks. And somebody says, "Yes, I'm the active router." And he's like, "Oh, okay, then I guess I can't be the active router." So he goes into standby mode, right? So that's what happened there, right? That's what these syslog messages have. That's what happened right here. So now that we're in standby, let's go ahead and set up our priority. What is our priority? We can do that with show standby, right? Shout out to Dave. Last time he thought it was, I think it was Dave. Was it you, Dave? No, it was AO that said he thought it was show Hsrp. You would think it would be show Hsrp, but no. Cisco wanted to fuck with us and said, no, the command is show standby. Come on, man. So show standby, and it'll show us right here that our priority is 100. Default is 100, right? We're going to change it. They said to change it to what? They said to change it to 90 in this case. See that? Hsrp priority 90, right? So we'll go back to interface VLAN 1, standby, priority 90, right? Default is 100, now it's 90. And we're the backup router. So now this guy's the active router, that guy's the standby router, right? So in case DSW1 goes down, then DSW2 is gonna be the active router, right? Or active switch in this case, because this is a layer 3 switch if you want to look at it that way. What else we wanted to talk about here? The next task, actually. Next task is which devices need their default gateways changed in order to take advantage of the new Hsrp 10 group. Well, obviously it's going to be the clients, right? These guys right here, this guy right here, and this guy right here. We said that the default gateway was DSW1. The interface that was there, the interface VLAN 1 was the default gateway, right? So we know he needs to change his default gateway. He needs to change his default gateway as well. We also have some layer 2 switches that sitting between them. Let's see what their default gateways are. That most likely needs to change as well, right? We log into him and do show IP. We can't do show IP route, right? Why? Because this is a layer 2 switch, so routing is not enabled. We got to just go ahead and do a show run, and we can't do the pipe command because Boson does not what do I say? Boson does not support that feature. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, lad. Show run pipe. No, we can't do that. So we just got to do a show run, and then we'll see default gateways 172.16.3.3. Right? Well, guess what? That is the interface, the physical interface on there. We want this guy and this guy to see only one switch. So that way when they send their traffic, they are already sending it to that right there. And they just know that it's going to be .253.2, which is what we set them up to be, right? Is that what it was? Can't remember. 3.252. Y'all know my dyslexic ass, man. 3.252 is the default. It needs to be the default gateway now, right? So let's go ahead and change that. So go to global config mode, IP default gateway 172.16. And I also have a short-term memory. 3.252. Come on, man. 3.252. Y'all hit me with that like button. Go to ASW2. Enable global config mode. IP default gateway 172.16.3. 3.252. Is that what I said it was? Yeah, 3.252. Let's triple check that though. Let's triple check that. 3.252 is the default gateway, right? So we changed this guy's default gateway, this guy's default gateway. We need to obviously do the same thing for these clients right here, right? So that way they're pointing to the virtual IP address, right? What is his default gateway right now? IP config. His default gateway is 172.16.3.3, which was the physical interface on that SVI, I believe, right? On that SVI that was on this switch right here. Let's change that to IP default. No, I'm sorry. IP config. I think it's /DG on these routers here, or these computers here, and then it's 172.16. Help me out here, y'all. 3.252. 3.252. Oh man, 3.252. That's his default gateway. Now let's do the same thing. Let's verify. IP config. Now it's 3.252. Do the same thing on client 2. We're still on task 1. We're gonna move on, y'all. IP config /DG 172.16.3.252. Right? We said 3.252. Yes. Yeah, 3.252. And let's see if we can ping him. 172.16.3.252. Press enter. And we got a reply. Good to go. We got Peter Hunt in the building. He said, I think if you don't put a standby group, it has the default group of 0 or 1. I'm leaning to 1. actually, we had this debate on the last stream. Shout out to, who was it, Foster, that said it is actually group of 1. The Hsrp group, the default group is 1. I did not know that. Thankfully, she fact checked that, looked that up on the Cisco white papers, and is definitely the default group for Hsrp is 1. So appreciate that. Thanks for pointing that out, Peter. The next task here is we did the default gateways on the devices you noted in the previous step. Change the default gateway to 16.3.252, which we just did. How can you set up the network so that all computers represented by client 2 use an IP of an IP address on DSW2 as the primary switch for their default gateway, but fail over to the same IP on DSW1 for the default gateway in case that DSW2 fails? Okay, this is where I think we messed up at. We put the same gateway on client 2. They didn't want that. So let's read that over again. How can you set up the network so that all computers represented by client 2 use an IP address on DSW2 as the primary switch for their default gateway, but fail over to the same IP? Oh, so we're doing the same thing, except we're just going to create a different Hsrp group. And we're pointing to that. So, and that's what they're going to have us doing these next steps here. Notice we had created 172.16.3.252 for their for these IP addresses here, right? We're gonna put another Hsrp group on these switches and give them another virtual IP address, and then we're gonna make client 2 point to that instead. Does that make sense? So here, let me show y'all real quick, for anybody that's kind of lost, right? So we put DSW1 and DSW2 in an Hsrp group, right? And we gave it the virtual IP address of 172.16.3.252, right? We said 3.252. Okay, y'all can tell I need a tablet, right? Well, guess what? And then we made client 1 point to that address as the default gateway. We did that with client 2 as well, who's not labeled, but I didn't mean to do that. I jumped the gun there. We're gonna make another virtual IP address and call it 3.254, which is noted in the next steps here. Sorry for my sloppy handwriting, right? And we're gonna have him point to that address as his default gateway, right? When we create these different groups, we're gonna have one is gonna be your primary address, and then the other one's gonna be a secondary, kind of like secondary group, and vice versa. So it don't matter which one goes down. If this one goes down, well, guess what? This guy's gonna be active router, and then vice versa as well, because we have 2 different IP addresses and 2 different groups, and that's the point of creating multiple groups. So that way we can have these guys point to one gateway, and then these guys point to another gateway. I jumped the gun and made them both the same default gateway. I should not have done that. So I guess I was stuck on the last lab. That's what they made us do in the last lab. So I hope I didn't lose anybody with that explanation there. So let's go to, it says here, on DSW1, create an Hsrp group of group 20 and an IP address of that, and use a priority of 90. So it's going to be like that, what we just did in the earlier step, but except we're just going to kind of flip it. That makes sense? So let's go to DSW1. This is guest file right there. And we said standby, the group number is going to be 20. The IP address is 172.16.3.254. And you know what? Y'all notice I changed the priority there? I should have specified what the group number was on that. So let's get rid of that real quick. Let's get rid of that. No standby priority 120. And don't worry, don't fret. We'll be able to grade the lab and see where we fucked up at. That's the beauty about Boson NetSim. So shout out to them for giving me this application and allow me to demonstrate that. So we push Control G. We can grade the lab and see where we messed up. But plus, there's a solution at the bottom of this guide here, right? So we're gonna get rid of that and do standby. Specifically 10, group number 10, their priority is 120, right? And then we'll go back to standby 20, and we said the priority for that is 90. See that? 90 for that group. And then on the next step right here, on DSW2, create an HSRP group of group number 20, IP address of 3.254, priority of 120. So go to DSW2, which is this guy right here. And we go to global config mode. We said interface VLAN 1. Standby, we said 20. IP address is 172.16.253. I'm sorry. Y'all know my 3.254. 3.254. And then we said standby 20 priority. And notice we're going from speak to standby mode there. Priority of 120. 120 for that group. Remember, we were creating multiple groups here. So next one says, which devices need their default gateways changed in order to take advantage of the new HSRP group 20? Well, we changed this guy. We changed all of these to be pointing to that .254. I think we should have done these guys to be in one group and these guys to be in another group. I think that's what we should have done. So let's go ahead and change these two guys right here to change. Let's change his default gateway to be 3.254. And we'll do ASW2 to be 3.254. That makes sense, you guys? So these guys are going to be pointing 3.253, 3.254. I'm sorry, 3.252. These guys are going to be pointing to 3.252, which is over here. And these guys are going to be pointing to 3.254. But remember, both of those IPs lie within two different groups between these two routers. I hope that makes sense. Unistems, hello, long time no see. Appreciate you for tuning in, man. I know it's been a minute since I streamed, but I'm trying to get back into it. I'm just kind of crawling. Got to crawl before I walk here. We're just working with HSRP groups. We're working with multiple groups. We're using Boson NetSim to demonstrate that. I'm gonna try to fire up my switches maybe tomorrow or sometime this week, and we'll do some HSRP with those as well. I also have a Dell server that I'm going to use for EVNG and GNS3. I'm going to try to get back into it, you guys, man. I'm sorry, it's been a minute, y'all. I've been busy with work and everything like that. Projects and just day-to-day stuff, man. Just life in general, man. Y'all know what it is, man. I know I'm making excuses, but, you know, we all have things to take care of. So the next task here says, so we changed the default gateways in order to take advantage of the new HSRP group 20. Last task here, or last subtask for task 1. We have 3 tasks here. We're going to be verifying the config, and then we're going to be enabling or assigning preemption here. The last thing says here, on the devices you noted in the previous step, change the default gateway to 3.254, which we just did, right? So we're good there. Task 2, verify HSRP configuration. So I think we're just going to be doing some show commands here. On DSW1 and DSW2, display the HSRP configuration. So we'll go to DSW1. We said the way to do that is show standby. There's also show standby brief. So let's start with brief first, and we'll see the different groups here. We need to get rid of this command here. I fucked up something right there. There should be just two groups. We got a group 0, which is what Peter Hunt mentioned. There's a default group, which is group 0, and I'm glad this happened actually. So remember when I created that standby and I didn't specify our group, but I did standby 100 priority. I think I said 100 or something. I don't remember what I did there, but I think that's what happened there. That's why it created that group 0, and there's no information there. So let's take a look at the config by just looking at running configuration there, and that's what happened there. So let's see. The HSRP configuration should be located. Let's see what caused that to happen. It's gone now. So, and I don't know why it's still there. Maybe I gotta save it, or it could be a bug with Boson NetSim. But I don't know if you guys remember. For anybody that's been paying attention closely, I put in a command. I just put standby priority 120. Well, you know what? I didn't specify a group, and it created a default group, which is group 0, which is what Peter Hunt mentioned. And that's why when we do a standby brief, there's some unknown information there. So when I do show standby brief, you see this right here. That's what caused it to create that group, and there's no information on it. Well, I believe this is probably a bug with Boson NetSim. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but since I removed it, that should be gone. So because I then specified the group numbers and the priorities, and that's why those are there. So let's look at DSW2 and see if that happened, because I don't think I made, well, yeah, I think I made that mistake there also. Let's see. Show standby brief. Yep, same thing happened there. And I believe that's a bug. That should have been gone. That should have been gone. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong though. Remember, this is a simulator. It is not actual hardware, and it's not an emulator. So it's just a fake application. So it's not real Cisco iOS or anything like that. And some of this stuff can be buggy, and it's not perfect. So I believe that's the reason why that is there. That should have been gone. If y'all correct me if I'm wrong. We looked at the command. Y'all see there's no Hsrp group 0 or anything like that. And plus I removed it with the no standby command. No standby. Where did I remove it? I removed it over. Let's see. I'm pretty sure I did. If not, then let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do it and make sure I do that. No standby. No, I gotta go in the interface command real quick. I just want to see. I just want to test this real quick. I'll get back on with the show, y'all. So what was I want to remove? No priority 90 is what it was. No standby priority 90. No, not 90. I want to get rid of that. Yes, I want to get rid of that 90. That's what I want to get rid of. Show standby brief. Still there. Oh, see, now the default is now 100 there. See? Which is the default priority anyway. So that should have been gone. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. If that happens in real iOS or not, I don't know. Who knows? Let's move on. We will use this output for the following connections. Which device is the active router for group 10? Well, on DSW2, we can see that right here. Group 10, the active router is not me. I'm the standby router. So DSW10 is the standby router for group 10. So let's look at DSW1 and see if he is the active router. Yes, he is the active router. So he is the active router for group 10, DSW1. And then DSW2 is the active router for group. He's the standby router for group 10. That makes sense? Y'all let me know if I lose you or anything like that. So what's happening? Yep, we got Wayne Hilden in the building. Appreciate you for tuning in. So we have, remember, we have two different groups here. So in case y'all get lost in the matrix here, because I'm kind of getting lost in the matrix here too. We have a group. We put these two guys in. Let's use another color here. We got a group 20. We also have a group 10 here. Right? We got two different groups. One is going to be the active router, and the other guy's going to be a standby router. And then we made another group where he is the active router and he is the standby router, right? So we're just creating redundancy here. That's all we're doing. So that way when this guy goes down, he's the active router in group 10. Well, guess what? We still have a standby router, which is this guy right here. This guy right here. He's still the standby router. And vice versa. When this guy goes down, even though he's the active router or the standby router, we still have a standby router and active router for the other group. So we'll always have a default gateway. It will have to take something catastrophic for us to not have a default gateway. Both of these guys have to go down in order for us to lose our connectivity, right? So, and that's the point of first hop redundancy protocols. The next task here says to which device has the higher priority for group 10. Let's see. Group 10 says his priority is 120. That's DSW1. Let's go to group DSW2. His priority is 100 in group 10. So 120, 100. So group 10, this guy has the higher priority, which is why he is active. That makes sense? Why are both Hsrp groups on separate devices assigned the same IP address? Well, remember we said the concept is called virtual IP address. They're assigned the same IP address so that way these two guys right here don't get confused and say, why do I got multiple IP addresses? They just see one default gateway, right? So for this guy, they just see one default gateway. It's going to be 3.254 and 3.252, right? 252, oops, 252, and I'm not going to write 254, but the other one is 254, right? These guys see 254, these guys see 252. And those are virtual IP addresses. There's also virtual MAC addresses as well that determines who gets the traffic and who's the priority and stuff like that, but we're not getting into that today because I don't think that talks about it in this lab here. So which device is the active router for group 20? How did you determine this? Same thing, show standby brief. There's also show standby, which gives us a lot more information, right? Whether preemption is disabled, how many times, what the hello timer is set to, etc., etc., etc. But I like show standby brief because it's, well, brief. And it's gives us concise information here, right? The question again was, what device is the active router for group 20? Well, we got group 20. The active router is DSW1. So what about DSW2? What is he? Group 20, he is the standby router, right? So he is the active router for group 20, and he's the standby for group 20, right? Y'all confused? Or let me know. You know, if you have any questions, there's no such thing as a dumb question in this chat or in this on this stream here. Y'all know I like answering anything that I know, and I like passing on information and knowledge. The next question here is, what device has the higher priority, which we just answered? Yeah, we just answered that, didn't we? Which device has the higher priority for group 20? We said group 20, he is 120. And this guy says his priority is 90. We didn't answer that. So he has a higher priority for group 20. But you would think if he has the higher priority, why is he the standby router? Well, that's because of preemption. We'll go over that in a second here. Is a group number required in order for Hsrp to be configured? Well, clearly not, because y'all see what happened when I didn't put a group number. It created the default group, which was group 0, which is what Peter Hunt mentioned earlier in the stream there, in the group chat there. What is the default group number? Again, group 0. Verify that client 1 can still ping router 1's FA00 interface. So basically, what we did at the beginning of the stream here, client 1, this guy right here, they want us to make sure we can ping router 1 still. We want to make sure we can still ping that guy right there, which was 172.16, 253.2. Go to client 1, which is sitting all the way over here. Let me know if y'all can still see that. Client 1, 3.252, right? Get on our knees, pray to the network gods. Can we ping it? Timed out. It don't look like it. So something's broken. Something's definitely broken. 16.253.2. That's what we said, right? Yep, 16.253.2. Let's see. What did we change our default gateway to be? Let's see. IP config. 16.3.252. We did that. Yep, we sure did. It can't ping it. 16.3.252 is right there. And we do have, let's see. Let's do show standby real quick. 16.3.252. There's the default gateway right there. Let's make sure that he is pointing to 3.252. He is. So, what did we do here? We might need to move on, but he should have still been able to ping it for sure. He said, I think you have to know standby 0 or something like that, but the number should be mentioned 0. Oh, okay. Let's try that. But we also, and that's probably what broke it too, right? Go to global config mode, interface VLAN 1, no, what is it? We said no standby 0. Oh, but the group number. Well, there was no group number. That's the thing. Oh, so no. I see what you're saying. So no standby, and then group number 0, priority, whatever. Let's try that. No standby priority. And then the priority was, in this case, 100. Yes, 100. So 100. Try that. And then show standby brief. Nope, that didn't work either. That was a good guess, though. I would have thought that would have removed it because I specified the group number there. I like that. But that didn't work for some reason. We still cannot ping 16253.2. That's not good. Let's see here. Did we break anything? Let's see if we can ping. Let's see if we can ping 16.3.10. 16.3.10, which is the interface VLAN on ASW1. 16.3.10. Actually, let's see if he can ping the default gateway over there. 16.3.252. 16.3.252. Ping 172.16.3.252. He can ping it. Can he ping router 1, which is 253.2? 253.2. Maybe that's what I'm doing there. I'm probably 253.2. He can ping that, but he can't ping 253.2. Oh, that's probably why. That is what I did. I changed it. I messed up the default gateway. That's supposed to be 253.2. Right? 253.2. No, that's not it. That's supposed to be. That was correct. But he can't ping 253.2. There it is right there. There it is. That was weird. Anyway, let's do the same thing with this guy right here. 253.2. 253.2. Get on our knees. Pray to the network gods. I don't know what happened there. Maybe he didn't ARP. I don't know what I did differently there. But y'all see. What was I pinging that didn't come back? 253.2. It was right here. 253.2, right? Oh, I was pinging 3.252. No, that's not what I was pinging. What was I pinging? 253.2. Yeah. 253.2. And what was not working was 253.2. That was weird. Y'all see I didn't do anything different there, man. Maybe the switch needed to ARP because he didn't change. I don't know. We fixed it. Let's go back. I think this is the final task here, right? Final task. Task 3, assign Hsrp preemption. And then we'll be done here. This task involves configuring DSW1 to be the Hsrp active router for Hsrp group 10 and DSW2 to be the active router for group 20, right? So let's look at it again. This guy is going to be an active router for group 10, and this guy's going to be the active router for group 20. Y'all with me? Remember, same thing with the active and standby, and then everybody else is going to be standby for the other routers. They're going to be standbys for each other, if that makes any sense, right? So they're going to be backing each other up, right? It's kind of like we're like Mike and what's his name from Bad Boys. We're kind of like walking back to back against each other, right? Just covering each other's backs. That's what we're doing here, right? So subtask number 1. How can you guarantee that a specific switch becomes the active router in an Hsrp group? Well, priority doesn't happen. Remember, priority is not it. Remember we said whoever has the highest priority, they are the active router, right? Well, let's say we put this guy, he's 200. He is the active router. Let's say we put another Hsrp router in that group and put his priority at, I don't know, 220. Even though he has the higher priority, he doesn't just become the active router. He needs to preempt the other router, or kind of like overthrow, or enabling preemption. What is the default priority for Hsrp groups? Well, we said it already. It is, I'll show you guys with that command, show standby default. Oh, it doesn't show you the default there, but the default priority is 100. That's another fun fact for you guys to remember, right? Default priority is 100. Has DSW1 become the active router for group 10? If not, why? So let's go to DSW1 and check. DSW1, is he the active router for group 10? Let's see. For group 10, that's group 20. Group 10, he is the active router. So yes. He is the active router for group 10. That's good. Enable preempt on group 10 for DSW1 and DSW2. All right, so we're going to go to DSW1. The way we do that is we go to global config mode. We go to interface VLAN. VLAN 1. Standby. We said group 10. Preempt. Is that what he said? Yeah, preemption for group 10. And do the same thing on DSW2. He's a standby for both routers. Go to global config mode. We might see some changes here with this preemption here. Interface VLAN 1, standby 10, preempt. We should see some change there somewhere, right? I guess not. We're still standby routers. That's fine. That's fine. Has DSW2 become the active router for group 20? Why not? Let's see. Why not? He is not the active router for group 20. He's still the standby. Probably because, let's see, his priority is 120. What's the other guy? His priority is show standby brief. For group 20, his is 90. I don't know. Why is he not the... Anybody know? Why is he not the active router? We set up preemption. We don't want to reboot this thing. I'm not too sure. I can't answer that question. Does anybody know? Y'all know I don't have the answers to everything. Don't add priority to the command. 100 is default. It always comes back. Okay. That's trying to delete the priority. That's what you tried. Oh, okay, let's try that. So just, you saying, and anybody, okay, so let's go back to that. So global config mode, we said interface VLAN 1. You said, let me see, because we was trying to get rid of this right here. So standby 0, no standby 0, like that? No. You can't do that. No standby. We did that. No standby group number 0. You can't. There's no IP to delete. There's no authentication. There's no preemption. There's no priority. There's no timers or no track. So, were you saying that I should have done no stand? Oh, that's what you said. No standby 0. Well, apparently that didn't work. That didn't work. I guess that was a good guess too, though. So anybody know why this guy's still not the active router for group 20? Why is he should be the active router, even because he has the higher priority. It's 120. If anybody wants to answer that question, I'll move on. And then we only got a couple more steps and then we're gonna wrap it up. Wrap it up. We'll wrap it up then. Enable preempt. Oh, that's probably why we didn't set up preemption. I thought I set up preemption for group 20. Oh, we did the priority. No. DSW2. Yeah, we set up priority. Oh, we didn't do preemption for standby 20. Group 20 is what we did not do. So, yeah, we did standby 10 preempt. And for group 20, for group 10, he is, I'm getting confused now, y'all. Hold on for a second. Group 10. Yeah, DSW2 should have been the active router for group 20. Oh, that is why. Because we didn't set up preemption for group 20. That is why. So let's do that. Let's do that. So standby. Well, before we do that, yeah, enable 20. Enable preemption for group 20 on DSW1 and 2. So let's go back to DSW1. You said which one did you set up first? I don't remember. But we're almost done here, man. I'm not even worried about that guy no more because, to be honest with you, I think that's a bug. Maybe I'll test it on the switch, on an actual switch, and see if that's a way to remove that. But I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it's not a bug. I don't know if anybody's seen that before. But let's go to global config mode, and we said standby. No, we need to go to interface. Face VLAN 1, standby 20, preempt, and then go to DSW2, same thing, standby 20, preempt, and now he is the active router for group 20, which is what we were looking for there. Verify the configuration. Has DSW2 now become the active router for group 20? Yes, it did. Holla back. Verify that connectivity still exists on client 1 and 2 by issuing a ping the router 1's FA00 interface, and then we'll call it a night. So basically they want us to, same thing here, right? Client 1, client 2, they want us to be able to make sure we can ping router 1, and then we are done here, right? So where is it? There it is right there, 16.253.2. Pinging, we got a reply. Go to client 2. Get on our knees, pray to the network gods, and we got a reply. Good to go. We can grade ourselves with the Control G. I always forget to do this at the end of the stream there, so we can see where we're missing here. Grade lab. You missed one or more commands in the lab. Notice we missed some commands. That's what I don't really, just because it's like it's not perfect. We got the lab to work. We set up our groups. We set up the preemption and all of that. We set up who's the active router, who's the standby router, but something is missing here on DSW2. Even though things worked, we're missing something here, apparently. So we go to DSW2 and see what we're missing. It is the priority. We didn't set up the priority for group 10. I thought we did that. Maybe we didn't. Even though we still got it to work. Yeah, I guess we didn't do that. We did the preemption. We did the group. So let's go to DSW1 and do standby 10, priority 90. Or DSW2. Standby 10, priority 90. So DSW2, standby 10. Priority is 90. What is his set to be? Standby 10, his priority. Oh, we left it at the default, which is 100. See that? And we could have seen that if we'd have ran that command before. So now we set it to 90. We verify our work with show standby brief. And now it's set to 90. He is an active router. He's a standby router. We'll push Control G to check our work again. And you've completed the lab successfully. I'm going to try to stream Monday through Thursday. Sometime between 8 and 9, but if you want the inside scoop of when I'm going to stream, make sure you join the Discord server. Here is the invite to the Discord server. If I can pull it up. Here. Bloop. Invite. Close. And here is a link to the Discord server. Close this right here. Bucky Roush in the building. Appreciate you for tuning in. I know you tuned in late, but we're pretty much done here. Yeah, I'm gonna try to stream not Monday through Thursday, because Mondays I have my I joined an adult basketball league, so I play games on those days. I'm gonna try to see if I can get those in, but I'll be tired as hell trying to play a game and then try to stream right afterwards. But I'm gonna try my best to try to. I don't want to put too much on my plate. But anyways, y'all make sure y'all follow me on my socials at NetworkBruh for Twitter and Instagram. The links will be down below in the description there. What else we got? I think tomorrow we'll do another Hsrp lab. Let me see. I like to kind of go in order with the labs that they set up. I kind of like their order here. We'll go to view. Where we at here? View labs. We did multiple standby. Tomorrow we'll work on authentication here. And maybe interface tracking if it's a short lab. If we got time, we'll maybe we can knock 2 of them out of the way. Who knows? We'll see. But we're definitely gonna do an Hsrp lab tomorrow. So for now, comment, like, subscribe to the network.